Welcome! Today, we're diving into Ernest Hemingway's A Farewell to Arms. This isn't just any novel. It's a book that truly defined a generation shattered by war and became a massive landmark of literary modernism.
So, let's get one thing straight from the very beginning. Hemingway, he did not write happy war stories. This is not a tale of heroism and glory. Nope, this is a brutally honest look at love and loss in a world that has completely lost its way.
To really unlock this story, we have to understand Hemingway's signature style, what he called the Iceberg Theory. See, what you read on the page, all those short, punchy sentences, that's just the tip. The real weight, the real emotion is all submerged in what's left unsaid. It's a style born from the trauma of his generation, where there was so much pain it could only be hinted at. The novel is actually structured just like a classic tragedy. It charts this devastating journey from disillusionment all the way to, well, devastation. Okay, so let's dive right into these 5 acts. We're going to see how this tiny, fragile hope gets built in a world at war, only to be completely tragically destroyed. So our story kicks off on the Italian front during World War I. And our protagonist, well, he's already exhausted by the sheer senselessness of it all.
This is Frederic Henry. He is not some gung-ho patriot. He is an outsider, an American, and he's just looking for some kind of meaning in all the madness, and finding none. He's basically just trying to get through the day.
And he finds a distraction in Catherine Barkley, a British nurse who's mourning a loss of her own. And at first, their relationship is just a game, a kind of playful flirtation between two wounded people trying to forget the war for just a little while. It's a defense mechanism, not a romance.
But then, everything changes. Frederic gets seriously wounded by a mortar while he's eating pasta with his men of all things. He gets sent to a hospital in Milan, and in this sanctuary, away from the front lines, their little game starts to evolve. It becomes something real, profound, and absolutely desperate. It becomes their only shield against the world.
All right, now we're getting to the story's violent climax. This is where Frederick's world, and frankly, the entire Italian army, just completely falls apart. That brief peace they found in Milan, it is shattered. He gets thrown right back into the full-blown horror of a collapsing army during the Battle of Caporetto. It's just a torrent of mud, confusion, paranoia, and death.
And in the middle of this chaos, the battle police are literally executing their own officers for the crime of being separated from their troops. So when they grab Frederic, he's facing his own summary execution, and he has to make an impossible choice. To save himself, he jumps right into the Tagliamento River. But this isn't just a physical escape, it is a profound symbolic act. He dives into that water, a soldier, and he emerges something else entirely.
That jump into the river is his symbolic baptism. He's washing away his obligations, his uniform, his whole role in the madness. He is officially declaring his own separate peace.
So, having deserted, Frederic now has only one mission: find Catherine and escape the world that tried to kill them.
And the contrast between his two realities is just so stark. He and Catherine row all night long to get to neutral Switzerland, leading the chaos of the war for the quiet peace of the mountains. And for a brief, beautiful moment, it really seems like they might succeed. They build this small, perfect little life for themselves, a kind of fortress of two against the entire world. But this is a Hemingway story, and here, the universe can be just as cruel as any war. And the rain, which has been a constant symbol of doom in the novel, well, it begins to fall. And the tragedy just unfolds with the same brutal, clinical speed as a battlefield casualty report. The irony is just crushing. It's spring, the season of new life, but it only brings death. Their son is stillborn. And then Catherine, his entire world, hemorrhages and dies. And with that simple, devastating sentence, Frederick's whole world is just obliterated. There's no grand speech, no emotional breakdown. There's just a man walking alone in the rain back to his hotel. And this right here, this is the true power of the Iceberg Theory. The weight of the story isn't in what's written on the page. It's in the immense, unspoken, bottomless grief that's contained in that final, silent walk. So why does this novel have such lasting power? Well, it's so much more than a war story. It's a profound look at trauma, at the search for meaning in a meaningless world, and it's about the terrifying idea that sometimes there really is no escape.
Ultimately, the novel doesn't give us an answer. It leaves us with a question that just echoes long after the final page is turned.
After you desert the wars of men, how do you fight a war against the universe itself?